Welcome back, my friends, to another episode of Automotive Drama. Today I got a 2013 Hyundai Elantra. I think it's a 2-liter in this thing. Yeah, 2-liter. Alright, it's got a kind of a weird issue. Intermittent shake. Alright, stumble at a light or at idle with the AC on, with the AC off. It's not so bad. But before we continue, like always, likes are nice, subscribes are better, questions, comments, feel free, and ring the bell if you want to watch more episodes. Alright, well, she brought it by the other day, and I took it for a ride, and I barely felt anything, just one little bitty thing. So I told her, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to bring it back, because there's just no way I'm not going to, I thought it felt like a coil or a plug, but there's just no way I'm going to throw four coils and 4 plugs in somebody's car. It's just too expensive. I just ain't doing it. And if it don't fix it, then that person's not happy. But, so, it was missing a little bit, and she brought it by, took it for a test drive. I gave it a little kick, and it blew a bunch of blue smoke, bluish, blackish. It just blew a big puff of smoke. It fell on its face first, blew a big puff of black smoke, and then started running like a raped ape. So I'm shaking my head. And then it started missing like crazy, and yes, the check engine light finally came on. So I brought it back. It came back cylinder number 4 misfire. So as you can see, there's 190 pounds of compression, so I'm pretty sure the cylinder's good. And she was saying that she had this problem a couple of years ago. And so she took it to another shop, and it was like right around the same date. Where is the date? The date I just saw. 5/11/23, and then 8/21/23. All right. So on 5/11, it had 50. Where's the mileage? And boy, am I so glad that she had these things. It had 50-some thousand miles on it. And somebody replaced all 4 coils and plugs. And then, a couple months later, with 3,000 more miles on it, I think the mileage, where was it? I can't find it. The mileage, I saw the mileage on it. Yeah, 3,000 miles later, this one's got 50,000 on it. 3,000 miles later, she had 2 more coils replaced. Now, I don't know what's going on with these coils. I mean, in 3,000 miles, I don't know if they were using junk coils. I honestly, I don't know. So it gets to me, and of course I do that first. Plus, this is also a good way to keep the cylinder hole plugged while you're checking for spark. Now I look at this coil; it looks good. I mean, when they do that intermittently, sometimes you would almost see an arc track, carbon mark, or it comes through the boot, or the spark's coming through the boot and grounded on the spark plug tube. So I did a little test. I'm going to show you what I did. You see I have the spark plug out in the test light. First I checked the coil, zap, 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 it was zapping away. But it wasn't a really hard blue, it wasn't really like a hard snap, like this should be like probably 60,000 volts or more, kV. And it wasn't a really hard snap, and it really wasn't a blue snap. It was kind of yellow. Let me show you here. That's the plug, and somebody just changed the plug, and they got 12,000 miles on them. So, an NGK spark plug, okay, a new part. I've seen them never ever work, but not with those. They're pretty good quality product. Now, if you look, I don't know if the light will give it to you or not. That spark is like, well, a minute ago it was yellow. Now it's kind of blue. So, very weird. Does have a cylinder misfire, but I'm looking at that, and that's telling me that the plug in the coil should be working. I mean, if you look at the zap pattern, it's dead on. Even if I, jumping that far, that's a nice blue spark. So I really don't think there's anything wrong with that coil. Somebody said they did a fuel injection cleaning. I don't think they did. I really think this is a carbon problem, especially how much smoke blew out of it when I gave it a little kick. So I'm going to tell her before I do anything, I need to clean the fuel system. And if it blows a bunch of smoke out of it, then we know that that should be the issue. And I mean, these plugs and coils got like 12,000 miles on them, and you've seen the spark gap. So I really think it's a carbon problem, and that's why it blew the smoke, because it's so much carbon built up on the valves. And those electronic throttle bodies, yeah, they don't like that. They don't, you know, they just love to build up carbon on them, and then they wax all kinds of systems out. I've seen this before on vehicles that have had similar work done to them. Old Ford were really good for that, like the Escalades and the big trucks. What were they? I think they had the 5.4s in them. They would build carbon up in the intake, and the carbon would build up so much in the intake that it sucks up all the fuel before it gets around it can't get past the valves. It just, all the carbon sucks up the fuel before it gets past the valves, and you should get a lean misfire code. But also, you might not get a lean misfire code because there's so much carbon still built up in there. It still might actually just get enough gas to not make a lean code, but still not enough fuel to give it an actual lean misfire. I really don't want to put any plugs and coils in this thing yet, because they look fine to me. And I even checked the one next to it just to double check to make sure. And nice zappy blue spark. So I'm going to tell her that I really need to do an induction tune, and then go from there. Alright, well, I'll let you know what happens, and anybody wants to know, ask me later. And have a good night, my friends.